Hello, I'm Liam, and we are playing Four Against Darkness. Our party, after escaping an Alcatraz-style prison called Life Tooth Rock, our party's in debt to the De Vigna family, to the tune of some 6,000 gold pieces. The conceit here is that the De Vigna bribe prison workers to create situations that certain enterprising individuals might take advantage of and attempt an escape. And those few who survive become essentially indentured servants working for the David Marcias as mercenary dungeon delvers and paying for the privilege. In our first post prison break adventure, last time we were escorted to the Seething Scar and to retrieve a cat's eye amulet. We found it on the dungeon's final boss here in room 10 on an orc brute. And we returned it to the Divigna Marcias, to the ship headquarters. Turned it to the quartermaster, and that's where we left off. I did a little experimenting. I found this orthographic template for graph paper. This is one of the prison break levels, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. It takes longer to draw. It hurts your brain a little bit because you have to rotate these tiles in 3D in order to draw them. The other issue, it gets a little busy. It looks better on camera, I think. In person, it's a little busy and hard to read. I also, I don't have it'd be tough, I think, to find a journal that has orthographic graph paper. So instead, I'm sticking with the journal idea. This is just a dot journal, and I've transferred the dungeon map from last week in here, the Seething Scar. There's our gameplay board, and I'm just tickled by this idea of cataloging the adventure, basically. As if there's some accountant they're reporting to on this, in the De Vigna Marcia's fleet. We list our assets. So each room, here's the entrance breached. Room 2 had a fountain depleted. 3 puzzle box solved. 4 bear trap intact in case, they wanted to go in and dismantle this thing and sell it for parts. Minotaur deceased. Orcs 6 vacated, so we killed some of them, but the rest fled. Giant spider vacated. Ghost hostile. They didn't get rid of that guy. You might see him again. Swarmlings 13 deceased, and orc brute. That was our final boss, deceased. And then total revenue, right? So sleep scroll that the party's keeping. Jewelry worth 120 gold pieces. Some miscellaneous gold pieces, a fireball staff, which you need a wizard to use that. We don't have a wizard, so if I understood the rules correctly, that's selling for 200 gold. A wand of sleep, which our elf will use. A gem worth 40 gold pieces, and the gold that the boss was guarding, 126 gold, and of course the cat's eye amulet for a total revenue of 500 gold pieces. So that comes off their total debt, and indicated that here. So our total debt currently stands at 5,201 gold pieces. We have some bookkeeping left to do. I realized reviewing that last video, I didn't actually do an XP roll when we defeated the final boss, and we should have done that. So we get to see who might have leveled up. Throck, our barbarian, is level 3. Elric, our cleric, is level 2. Blesk is level 2. She's our elf. And Jim the warrior is level 3. So I think we'll go with, we'll give our cleric another chance to level up. So he's got to roll a 3 or better on a d6, and he does it. So Elric here, we'll level him up. Where's my eraser? Elric goes to level 3. He gets 1 more life. takes him to 7. And then some of his other stats here we'll have to adjust. His attack is going to go to, well, that'll stay the same because it's half his level rounded down. So it's +1, but versus undead, it's his level, so that's +3. I don't know why that was +3 already. I might have had that written wrong. And I think that's it. The changes there for Elric. So there we go. That's done. Slot Elric back into the marching order. What else? We completed a patron quest. That's what the cat's eye amulet was. So I'll pull up the greedy gifts of the greedy guildmasters here. This is our patron, Brunhilde de Vignamarcia. We won't meet her until we have a much greater standing with this faction. But here's patron quests. We get a XP roll for completing the patron quest. We get 1 faction point, which I'll just write down here. Faction. You start at 0. We are now 1. That event essentially affects reaction rolls with your faction and your allies. These are all the allied factions. And negatively affects reactions for enemies. I don't think we're going to run into these folks just randomly generating dungeons like we are. We'd have to contrive to make that happen. And we might, but for now I'm not going to worry too much about the faction. When we get to faction level 5, that's the max. Interesting stuff happens. But in the meantime, we'll just take note of it. We do get an XP roll, so let's see if we can level up. Everybody's level 3 now except for Blesk. So if she rolls a 3 or better, which she does, it's a 6, so we level up Blesk. So we're all level 3 now. Blesk goes to level 3. Her life goes to 7. Attack is her level. Versus orcs, she gets +1, so that goes to +2 and +3 versus orcs. +2, +3. Defense remains the same. Spells, she'll add her level to. So that's great. Slot her back into the marching order here. And I'm going to add, this is where I keep track of their life, here on the play board. We've got Elric with 7 and Blesk goes up to 7. We also get a patron quest reward. So let's hide this highlight. Oops, that didn't work. There we go. Patron quest reward. A random magic item from 4AD, that's the core rules, or this supplement RRR, or 2 random spell scrolls, or some gold. And I think we'll go. I think we'll go with the spell scrolls. I'm imagining this. This quartermaster has a box or a closet filled with spell scrolls, and he just grabs 2 out of there. And we should have a table of random spells here somewhere. There they are. Random spell table. So what does he hand us out of this closet? An escape scroll. 2 escape scrolls. I think for now we'll give those to Blesk. We might decide to split those up amongst the party. Escape scroll. She's got 2 of those. I'm laughing because that was a pretty that was a plot point in our prison break. She found this escape scroll, and now she's got them again. So there's the bookkeeping we had left to do. We're looking good. We're all level 3. Let's see where we're headed. The first thing I like to do, So the Divigna Marcias, the ship set sail for another location. We'll see. That's Twisted Final Fights. Twisted Hordes. Let's see. It's going to be a D100. Let's see what Brunhilde and her clan is after. I gotta find my D10s here. Here we go. 77. Last time we were after a cat's eye amulet. This time we are after 77. A throwing knife of flight. This +1 slashing light hand weapon can be thrown as a ranged weapon or used as a light hand weapon in melee. If thrown, the knife will reappear in the hands of the wielder at the start of their next turn. If their user rolls a 1 on the attack roll, the knife gets stuck somewhere and can't return. In any case, the knife may be retrieved after combat. So, it's basically a light hand weapon that you could use as a ranged weapon. That comes in handy if you're fighting in a corridor and you're not in the front row. You can use this light hand weapon. So that's our goal. Throwing knife of flight. That's our patron quest. The Divigna Marcias have some information leading to this magic object. Let's see who has it. Now, got a little intimidated by the Twisted Final Fights last time, but I saved it to the end and then tried to incorporate it, but I think we'll incorporate it here right in the beginning. We'll roll a D100. Instead of a normal final boss, we're going to use somebody special here. 97. A devouring protoplasm. That doesn't sound good. So he's going to be way down here. Devouring. There it is. Devouring protoplasm. HCL +2 means highest character level +2. Right now, if we met him right now, he'd be 5 because our highest level is 3. But we wait until we meet him and roll him. So this is the Twisted Final Fights way of scaling up monsters for encounters. He gets one attack per target per turn. So that would be 4 attacks. Pseudopod attacks, each inflicting tier damage. Tier damage means we're at the basic level, so he does 1 damage. As we level up, you get higher in tiers. And tier 2 would do 2 damage. I think that starts at level 5 and up. And so, born of alchemical refuse mixed with naturally occurring fungi and oozes. The devouring protoplasm is a slimy, vivid green, gelatinous mass attacking any living creature with a lash from a pseudopod. Every party member, including hirelings, mounts, and animal companions, we don't have any of those, they're from supplements, is attacked once per turn. Undead, elemental, and artificial creatures are not attacked. The devouring protoplasm seeks nutrients found only in living organic beings. Let's see. Devouring protoplasm seeps through armor and clothing. So armor gives a bonus to the wearer's defense rolls only on the first turn. Once a target's been attacked, armor no longer protects. Shields always protect against the lashing pseudopods, offering their customary +1 defense roll. Okay. So there are other creatures that destroy armor. It doesn't sound like that's what this doing. It sounds like this one just seeps through it. So we'll have to remember that when we get there. The devouring protoplasm is immune to sleep and poison, and all spellcasting rolls against it are -1. Acid is weak every time a dose of acid. Acid has an unpredictable effect on the devouring protoplasm. We don't have any acid, so treasure has no treasure, but something interesting. We'll worry about that when we get there. So that's our target, the devouring protoplasm. He is guarding, or this throwing knife of flight is in its lair. And let's see where we're headed. I like to use this Used this last time, seemed to work well. And to determine the name of our place, I'm going to roll a d8. So the name is going to take the form of this, the complex of descriptor. So we roll a complex name. Oh, we need a D100. I got 68. The palace. Interesting. The palace of descriptor. Okay, another D100. 48. Dreaming, nightmare, reverie. Palace of nightmare. Palace of nightmares. We'll go with that. Or the Palace of Dreams, which is kind of ironic. I don't know. Let's go with the Palace of Nightmares for now. The Palace of Nightmares. Okay, that is where we're headed. All right. Last time I used Twisted Minions and Twisted Dungeon to shake things up. I'm going to skip those this time because I'm going to use this supplement, Fiendish Foes, which essentially replaces all the base core rulebook, all the tables in the base core rulebook for vermin, minions. Oops, let me show this. You can see it. Here's Fiendish Foes. Replaces all the tables. We've got a new vermin table, new minions table, new boss table, new weird monsters table, new treasure table, magic treasure. So it's a short supplement, but it makes stuff tougher. So we're going to try that. And so I think we'll stop there for now. When we play again, we will enter the Palace of Nightmares looking for this devouring protoplasm and its treasure, the throwing knife of flight. Until then, friends, keep your lanterns lit and your hearts warm. Thanks for watching.